A woman who is pregnant with twins definitely has a higher chance of needing to have a C-section. It would be best to make sure that you're receiving prenatal care from a high-risk obstetrician. They can make sure that things are going well with the pregnancy, both with you and with the twins, because a twin pregnancy does bring with it a higher chance for complications overall. But your specific concern you mentioned was having a C-section, and yes, there's a greater chance that you would have one. And it's because in order to have a vaginal delivery, a safe vaginal delivery, both of the twins need to have their heads down in the pelvis. And that doesn't happen very often. And so if either baby is positioned in a weird way, like if one of the baby's heads are up in your ribs or if one of them is sideways, then the doctor will probably recommend that you get a C-section just because that's the safest way to deliver the babies. It would be best to talk to your doctor specifically about your individual circumstances, and they can shed more light on what their plans are for delivery. But generally speaking, there's a couple of things that I want to explain to you. Our goal at the hospital is always a healthy mom and a healthy baby, and I'm sure that's the goal that your doctor has in mind for you too. He wants you and your twins to be safe and healthy. And sometimes a C-section is just necessary as a detour to get to that goal. Our plan is always to do a vaginal delivery if that's going to be a way that your babies can be born safely. But if not, thank goodness that we have modern medicine, such as C-sections that can be done with very low infection rates, very low risk of complications, that help you get healthy babies out of the whole process. So C-sections really aren't worst case scenario. Obviously, there are some cons to it. It's not usually the type of experience that women wanted to have. And you mentioned that you had your other two kids at home, and so you were planning probably a more natural home-like feeling, that a normal delivery room can provide, especially, when you're having a vaginal delivery. But when your babies have to be born in the operating room via C-section, it is an entirely different experience. It's stark white, it's cold, it's not as homey, but it's still the birth of your babies, and we as staff members recognize that. We want to make it special for you. So it's okay for your husband to be there. It's okay for him to take pictures. As long as your babies were doing well, then we'd want you to be able to spend time with them. Again, talk to your doctor about the specifics of the protocols and procedures that are in place at the hospital where you'd be delivering at. There's also a higher chance of you delivering preterm because you're pregnant with twins. And so, watch yourself closely for signs of preterm labor. If you start to have constant lower abdominal cramping, constant lower backache, or if you feel like you're having contractions or pains in your stomach or lower back that come and go, and those are, seeming to be like 4 to 5 times an hour or every 10 to 15 minutes or even more frequent than that, then it's time to go to labor and delivery and get checked out, because obviously if you're preterm, we'd want to jump on it sooner rather than later and stop you from delivering if possible. We'd want to, help you get as far as possible with your babies because you're the best incubator for them. But like I mentioned earlier, there are other complications that can arise, and it's always best to stay in touch with your doctor and let them know about anything that you're concerned about. Good luck with everything, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page and recommend us to your friends and family too.